So we're now going to move on to a section which deals with lists of data. So rather than simple single variables storing one value, we're going to have more complex data which has structure. So this is an example illustrating the reason why we need this. This is a program called Naive Shapes, and all it does is just essentially randomly print out a shape of the day. So we can see down here, if I just make this a little bit wider, then we're going to be printing out a message saying the shape of the day is A, and then it's going to print out one of a number of things down here, and we'll explain how it works in a minute. First of all, though, at the top we're going to be importing something we haven't seen before, java.util.random. This is a random number generator. Now within our main program, the very first thing we do is create a random number generator from this random library, and it's called RND, and we're going to use that to generate random numbers. We're going to create ourselves two final variables. One is max shapes, that's the maximum number of shapes we have, which is set to 6, and the first is the number of sides of the smallest sensible geometric shape, which is 3. It's a triangle. Okay, so the next line here is the one that generates our random value, which is going to be an integer. And what this basically says is generate a number within the range of 0 to max shapes minus 1. That's what that rand.nextInt means. When you basically call rand.nextInt, you put a number in there and it says, okay, I'm going to generate a random number for you in the range of 0 up to, in this case, 5, because max shapes is 6. And then I'm going to add 3 to that. So the possible range of values of this value sides here is from 3, 0, which is the lowest possible random number this can generate, plus 3, all the way up to 8, which is going to be 5 plus 3. Now we're going to use that random number here in a switch statement, and we've got a number of cases. Okay, now the first one is should the value of sides be 3, it's going to print out triangle. If it's 4, it's going to print out square, and so on, all the way down to octagon. And we can see this does work. When I tried it earlier on, it kept printing out heptagon nearly all of the time, but we'll see what happens now. Okay, so it's done pentagon. If I do it again, it does hexagon. Now it's octagon, and so on, octagon again. Okay. Now this works, but it's really very, very clunky and it's quite long. If we wanted to add another shape here, say a nonagon or a decagon, then we'd have to add into the end here a case 9 and a case 10. We'd have to mess about with changing max shapes up here, and really this is a case where we want some kind of structure to our data. What we want to say is, okay, there's a list of possible shapes and a list of possible numbers of sides that these shapes can have. Now we can do that in Java and other programming languages. There's a number of ways we can do it, and the simplest way is something called an array, which we'll be looking at in the next video.